And, we're not going to displace, agents or carriers. We're never going to do that. As a matter of fact, we seek to empower those who sell commercial insurance.
All right, today with us we have Frank Lamantia, our own Chief Technology Officer at Bull Penguin. So awesome to have you, Frank.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
So actually, you don't know this, but I'm somewhat of a technology expert. I took almost a whole semester of C++ in 2002. So I am uniquely qualified to drill you on these concepts.
That's amazing. That's probably more C++ than I've ever taken. That's great.
I'm sure that anything that I programmed, and I don't know how many years ago, that 18 years ago, is probably slightly out of date at this point. So yeah.
It could be, but you might be surprised actually.
So yeah, so suffice to say, I'm on the marketing side. So really, I'm curious to get your thoughts from the tech side. This is your world. So one thing that you're passionate about is being a credible technology leader. So what does it mean to be a credible tech leader, and why is that important?
Sure. So I think credibility is really important when leading technical folks. You need somebody leading you who understands the nuances and the power of technology. I often say that, I try to stay hands-on. I can and do write some code every now and then, and it freaks my team out when I do it, but in a good way. And I just think that credibility is really, really important as a leader, because you never want to ask somebody to do something that you can't do yourself. And more so than that, specifically with technology moves so fast. And I found that people who take their hands off the keyboard for too long also usually find themselves approaching irrelevancy. They can't solve the same problems, or they don't understand the technology to solve the problems in the modern way technology problems are solved.
Yeah, even with my marketing and underwriting background, I can relate to that. Actually, I'm remembering a couple times. So when I moved from like a contributor role to leadership role in underwriting ops, there's a couple times when something would come across my desk. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to process this cancel. I think I still got it in me. I'm going to dive in and do it. And maybe I'll have someone on my team just check because I'm make sure I did it okay. But I can definitely relate to. I think that's probably a good point for any leadership role, is to just make sure you're aligned with the work on a continual basis. Whether that's tech or underwriting, I suppose.
Yep. Nope. I agree.
So you describe yourself as impatient with a bias towards action and never satisfied with the status quo. So how do you approach change management when moving so quickly?
Yeah, I think a big fundamental shift in the way you think about change management is lots of smaller shifts, just directionally correct, as opposed to major shifts, just much more spread apart in time. It's always better, at least from the technology side, to be thinking about small iterative changes and doing those quickly, each one building upon kind of a node good state, and each tracking to a certain trajectory, so to speak.
And obviously one approach to any kind of work is all the different kinds of project management methodologies. So which one is the best? What do you recommend?
Yeah, I don't know if there's really a best one. I've used a variety of them in my career, and they're all geared towards certain organizations or certain types.
I think it's all about the tools, right? Finding the right tool for the right job.
That's
One thing
exactly
I've
right.
seen on the tech side is the coming together of the communities. So, you see various communities forming to share insights, share tools. And Bull Penguin just launched a developer portal, so full of tools, is my understanding. So if you touch on that, what is a developer portal and who is it for?
Sure. Yeah, so a big customer of ours who's been unrepresented so far is the developers, the engineers who work for either commercial insurance companies or what we refer to as alternative distribution, essentially people who want to participate in the insurance supply chain and don't have an outlet to do so. So historically, our products have been used by agents and carriers and underwriters, and the developer portal signifies a launch into allowing developers to integrate with us natively. the developer portal is essentially, right as it stands right now, it's essentially a documentation hub for all of the good work that we've been doing in the last couple of years. We have a roadmap of things that we want to add to it, but you can think of it as an entryway for engineers and software developers to build on top of the platform that we've built.
That's awesome. So I can go in there and start using my 8 weeks of C++ knowledge and start making some embeddable penguins.
You can sure try.
Maybe, probably learn a little bit more first. To bring some philosophy here, as technology advances, there are always critics asserting that those advances detract value. So they take away the human element. How do you respond to that perspective?
No, I kind of, I don't agree with that perspective. In my mind, technology serves to remove the non-value add human interactions, and so that you can focus more on valuable human interactions. Our technology is used to route commercial insurance risks. To date, we've routed almost 1.5 million small business owners to agents who will help them get the insurance coverage that they need. And quite honestly, it makes the human touch even more present. It allows them to get in touch with a human instead of spending weeks and months on a phone call trying to constantly dialing new agents trying to get to where they need. I don't necessarily think that it's an and or an or, that it's necessarily a trade-off or zero-sum game, I suppose. I think that at the core, commercial insurance is always going to be somewhat human-driven just because of the nature of it. And our technology is meant to remove the burden from it and allow the humans to do what they're best at.
That is one thing that I noticed about Bold Penguin right away. So being on the carrier side when InsurTech started exploding, in 2016, 2016, I think there was a lot of movement in the other direction, a lot of voices in the other direction saying, agents aren't going to exist, underwriters aren't going to exist. So those of us who were in that buckets were like, I don't know about that. So yeah, I think that's really cool. It's a way of kind of that human-focused technology. It's definitely a differentiator. It's cool.
Yeah, I think we live in the age of Uber and Amazon, who have largely displaced humans as part of those things, just getting a ride. And I don't ever think that would be the case for commercial. It's too nuanced, it's too complex. Small business owners are putting their livelihood on the line, and they want to talk to a human. I don't think that kind of Uber example will ever take place in commercial.
Thanks for sharing your insights.
Yeah, this was great. Thanks so much. Anytime.
Thanks, Frank.